Hi Conley Clan fam! So today we are talking homeschooling. We have been homeschooling for a little over a year now, and I feel like we have studied some really good topics. So hopefully today we're going to give you some ideas. So we have actually done a very wide variety of topics in our homeschooling. The kids are allowed to study whatever they're interested in, and then sometimes Sean and I will assign them topics. So I want to go around and I want to talk to the kids about what their favorite thing has been that they have studied in the last year. Hopefully this will give you some ideas if you guys are homeschooling. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you some of my favorite topics that we have taught them. Lily's up. Lily, we are talking about favorite things in homeschooling. Okay, what was your favorite subject that you've learned so far?
Learning how to do 3D drawings.
3D drawings? Okay, that was fun. We did that in the very beginning of homeschooling, didn't we? Like almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have something you want to show everybody.
Yeah.
Did you do one?
Yep, I do it today.
Let's see. Did it fall up? Oh, that looks good. You did a really good job on that.
Thanks.
Did you have anything else that you liked learning about so far the last year?
I loved doing the intro things where we made those slideshows and then showing them to the...
Oh, so you like doing slideshows?
Yeah.
So mom usually picks a topic and then you guys go research it and do a presentation on it.
Yeah, we do it like for a week.
Yeah, we haven't done one of those in a while. We should probably do one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to brainstorm some topics.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for sharing.
Yep.
All right, Elena's next. Are you ready to share with us some of your favorite schooling stuff? Okay, what is it?
Okay, so I don't really have a topic that I love doing because school is not really that fun. Let's just be honest. But I like doing the Spanish and reading because me personally, I love reading and I want to learn how to speak Spanish because if you know, we live in Texas and a lot of people know how to speak Spanish, and I'm Mexican and stuff. And I just wanted to show you the books I'm reading for reading. Millie, Maven, and the Bronze whatever. I don't know how to say it. And I'm this far in, so like halfway. And I'm going to start reading this thing because it's about like someone trying skills and stuff. Like I said in my new resolution or whatever, I said I wanted to like a little bit more positive and stuff, and that will teach me some ways to be positive. And a subject that I want to learn in the future is Egyptian and ancient stuff because I find that satisfying. I find that really cool and
Interesting.
Not satisfying.
You find it very interesting.
I find it very interesting.
Well, and you don't mind learning, I don't think.
I don't mind it.
Your favorite thing to do is sit and read. You could probably read all day long every day.
Yeah. Like when it was like a no electronic day, like literally all I did was read. And so
That's a good it's a good skill to have though, reading.
yes, it's a really fun skill.
Jade's here. Are you going to tell us your favorite things to learn about?
Yep.
Okay.
I bet you're guessing. What are you guessing, Mom?
Dogs, of course.
No, but that's one of them, but I have a lot of other ones.
Okay, tell me some.
But I'm not allowed to learn about them because I learned about them too much.
You learned about them over and over, and Mom keeps saying, you have to learn about something new. So then you said horses. So, so then Mom said, okay, we have horses. You can learn about horses. But then Mom says, okay, now you have to pick something else.
It's hard because history is boring.
History's boring? I'm not good at history. Like, that was my worst subject.
Yeah, same. Or science, it depends on what it is.
Science is, I think, interesting. I'm not very good at science, but I think science is very interesting.
I like science projects.
Oh, do you? Okay. So what are some of your favorite things to learn about?
Baking. No, I don't want about that. Horses, because we have 2 horses. And one more. I love to read. It depends on the book. I am so picky about books.
You like animal books.
Yeah, like this one. It's Wish.
Yeah. You like that book?
And I hate when like the parents' the point of view or like there's a narrator. No, I like it when there's a kid point of view or the dog point of view.
Interesting.
Oh, like there's these books by Bruce Cameron. I love her books. Absolutely love them. But I've read them all.
Oh, you did?
And watched all the movies.
Oh my gosh.
And all the audiobooks.
Wow. Jeez. So you did it all.
Yep.
Okay. And you guys get an hour of interest time. So for 1 hour every day, you can learn about something you're interested in.
Yep.
And that's when you can do your horses and dogs.
But I'm not allowed to.
But you could do that during interest time. I'm okay
Really?
with that. Yeah.
Huh.
But you cannot do that during your studies time.
Oh, yeah.
So every day we also have an hour of studies.
Yeah, but I have to do worksheets.
I know.
Like today, I learned about unit rates.
You don't like doing that stuff.
No.
It's really hard for you. It's hard for you to
math.
do it because it's not hard for you to learn it.
No.
You're good at learning. You just don't like doing things you don't want to do.
Don't expose my secret.
That's true. It's hard for you to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But Mom says we got to do it.
And it's not that I have to have Jade terms.
Jade terms.
Dad made those up
Jade terms.
when he was teaching us the bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said, okay, let's go into Jade terms.
That's funny. Izzy. Okay, so what are your favorite things to learn about?
Do Duolingo and learning about God and Jesus.
So Duolingo, and that is, what do you learn on that?
Spanish.
You learn Spanish. You like doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, and then the other thing makes me super happy, and you said
God and Jesus.
you like learning about God and Jesus, and that's really good. That is something that I think a lot of people don't really think about to learn, because in your mind, learning is about school, like what they teach in school.
Yeah.
But if you went to a Christian school or a Catholic school, they would teach you religion.
Hey, today, after my worksheets, I did a presentation on God and Jesus.
You did. You haven't shown me yet, but I told you to show me this afternoon. So I'm very excited to see it.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay, Rosie, you're up.
Yes, I'm up. So my favorite thing that we've learned about this year is probably our bones, which I know was very different because I remember we were watching a video that we made and Elena said something like, I want to learn about our body and that stuff, and I made this weird face.
You're like, bleh. I
Yeah,
remember you were like, yuck, I don't want to.
Yeah. But now that I'm like watching like movies and TV shows that I probably watched a year ago when I was in school, and they're saying bones and they're saying stuff like that, and I actually know what they are now. And the bones that we have done is like high school too.
Yes.
Like high school.
You learned all
stuff.
206 bones, and you learned the correct names
And
of
where
all.
they're located.
And where they were located. Yep, you're right. And so you guys actually do learn high school things.
Yeah.
Even though you're elementary and middle school. And you are in middle school. But Dad did teach some of the elementary kids some of it too. They had a little bit of a harder time.
Yeah.
But Elena did it, and she's only 5th grade.
That's true.
But Dad finds that very, very important. And one of the reasons is because he's a chiropractor, and he has to know all that.
I really like it when Dad teaches us things. You do more of like the little kids. You're like the little kids teacher. Dad's kind of our teacher. So he's taught us like the right tool names, because our neighbors might come over one day and say, oh, can you pass me the pipe wrench, or
That actually happened to John.
yeah, or the adjustable wrench, or
Yep.
whatever. And we're like, what is that?
Yep.
But now we know what it is.
Yep. And Mom used to do presentations, have you guys do presentations and things like that. But Dad actually gets up at the whiteboard and he teaches.
Yeah, which we don't really do it here because we don't have our whiteboard
Yeah,
here.
we left it. We need to bring it though. I know we've missed it a few times.
Yeah.
Dad said he's going to do physics next.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Are you ready for that?
Yes, I actually am. I've been playing one of my favorite games. It's like you're playing a video game, but like it's like math and it's like English and that stuff, and it's so fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's nice when learning can be fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to learn in the future that you haven't yet?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
I kind of just learn whatever I see.
Oh,
Or
whatever's
like-
going on in life at that
Or
moment.
like I'll hear you guys talking or something. And I'll be like, okay, I'll just learn that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
John, we have been in homeschooling for a little over a year. What have been your favorite things to learn?
Math and then money.
Ooh,
The
about money.
thing. What Dad taught us about shoot, what was it called?
That was one of my favorite lessons.
It was like the
Active versus passive income.
yeah, and it was also the multiple, like you have to have that's a good thing to have multiple incomes.
Income streams.
Yes.
Yep, that's right. Because if you have multiple income streams, if one goes away, you still have others. Yes, that was one of my favorite lessons too.
I loved it.
Okay, so and then you said math, and you do
Prodigy, because it's the best.
Prodigy math.
It's very fun and
That's the one
easy.
Rosie just talked about.
Yes.
And
I told her what it was.
Yes, you introduced her to it. And then you've been doing a lot of coding, and that was something, what, in your resolutions, in your goals?
Yes.
And that and editing.
Yeah, the coding one, I just finished one course after a while. But I think it's just like a ton of them.
So coding is kind of one of those things that you can kind of learn, and then you can go do something else and then come back to it and learn some more. And
Yeah.
I almost feel like you need to do that because it's so intense. It can be so intense.
And frustrating.
And frustrating.
Yeah,
I
'cause,
bet it is.
You miss you put like a little space or you miss a space. The whole thing doesn't work. So
It's
then
extremely tedious.
you gotta have it like perfect. If it isn't perfect,
It doesn't work.
like the whole thing won't even work.
Yeah, you're right. Rosie wanted to share something about John.
Okay, so with his whole coding stuff, I'll look over and that stuff, and I see him, and he's like completely focused into the computer. He's like kind of angry, but like fine face, And it just looks like he's typing random letters and numbers. And then like yesterday or like 2 days ago, he had these like different colored balls and stuff, and they were like going like that or something.
Yeah.
And then I went back to my computer for 5 minutes, and then I looked back over. They were completely different colors, and they went like way more down, because before they were like this, they were like, now that they were like that and everything.
Gavin!
Yeah?
Are you going to share with us your favorite school stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you like learning about?
Math.
Math? You're actually really good at math. Is that why that's your favorite? What about reading? Do you like reading?
No.
You don't, do you? Reading is hard for you. But you like
it isn't.
math. Reading is hard for you. Yes, it is. Okay, you like math. Is there anything in math like that you really enjoy? Like addition, subtraction? What are some of your favorite math things?
Times.
Oh, you like times?
Sometimes I do times and cursive.
And, oh, you like doing the cursive stuff too? Yeah, that could be fun. A lot of the kids really love cursive. All right, it is your turn. What is one thing that was your favorite thing to learn?
History.
Okay. What kind of history?
Any.
Oh, you like any history? You do a lot of the, more like the dark history stuff, which is kind of some of the reality of history, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing right now? What are you working on right now?
Right now I'm working on what jobs I would like to get into.
What are a couple of the ones you found?
Well, interior design, detective, It's many. I'm just thinking of a good one. And a type of doctor, like a nurse or a family doctor.
That'd be good. Okay, so what are some things that you really want to learn about in the future?
Well, I want to learn more math.
More math, that'd be good. All right, some of the stuff that you really use in your everyday life is important.
Yes.
Some of that kind of math, yeah. All right, well, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right, well, it is my turn to tell you what my favorite things are that the kids have learned. So more like classroom topic things. I really had liked when Sean taught the kids about active versus passive income. I thought that was a huge thing for the kids to learn. That is so important. Also knowing about like multiple streams of income and things like that. I loved that lesson when he did that, and that was over several different days that we did that. The other thing that I really liked that he taught was when he did taught the kids how to figure out like percentages in your head. And not all the kids get it at the same time, but as far as the percentages go, it's like if you're in a store and you're buying groceries or you're going clothes shopping and you have to know like what your tax is going to be, because whatever you're spending in clothes, it's actually going to be more than that when you get to the register. So figuring out in your mind, how much extra money am I going to have on top of this for tax? Or when you go to a restaurant and you need to leave, a 20% tip, what does that look like? Or if I'm going to leave more than a 20% tip, or working through that in your mind. And then when you get your receipt and you have to actually write down what the tip is that you're going to spend or that you're going to pay, being able to figure out in your mind, okay, well, what is 20%, or what is 25%, or what is 15%, because they really didn't do that great of a job. So figuring that out, that was another really good lesson. I felt like that they don't really necessarily get taught in school, but they kind of do and then kind of don't, because I feel like we teach them more like, how is this going to work in your real life, as opposed to just teaching them the math skill and then moving on to the next math skill. We're like, this is how this is going to actually affect you and when you're going to use it. And I like being able to teach them when they're going to use it in their life. Now, my most favorite things that we have learned, though, are the things that are not classroom stuff. It's the real life things. Like when we went to the ocean and we saw the stingray or the jellyfish, or when you go to the ocean and you learn about high tide and low tide. Also things like, I had the kids do a report, a couple of the kids. They were really interested in gardening, and I had them do a report on the moon and how the phases of the moon affect gardening and how you can garden by the moon. I thought that was a really good topic. They were interested in gardening, and then they researched it and did a report for me, and I thought that was great. So those real life skills, really, I think one of the most important things that we as homeschool moms teach our kids is how to problem solve. I don't think that gets taught enough in like the regular school classrooms. I mean, I think that there are good problem solvers, and then there are people that have a harder time problem solving. But school doesn't really, I don't feel like, teach them how to be good problem solvers. So here, when we have to tackle something and they have to figure out, okay, I have all these leaves on the ground. What is the fastest way to get these leaves raked up and out of here? Am I going to do it this way, or am I going to do it that way? And if they do it one way as opposed to another, and it might take them 10 times longer. So, and then Dad comes along and Dad says, well, here, let me show you how I would have done it. And they're like, oh, okay, wow, that was a lot faster. And learning those real life things, and then being able to take that, because I see the kids now, they can take a lot of things and they can problem solve it, and they can figure it out themselves. And they're all still young, I feel like, but they have really good problem solving skills. So that is another thing that I love about being able to homeschool. And just the fact that they get to see all the real life stuff going on. And like I had said before in a video, how to negotiate on a house, and how to buy a car that's been wrecked and fix it up, or how to fix the plumbing issue that happened, or the AC that broke, or all of those things that they are witnessing along the way. And so those are my most favorite lessons for the kids, are all of the things that teach them really good problem solving skills. So I feel like homeschooling overall has gone really well. It is a struggle to have all the kids home all the time and never get a break from one another. So we have to be creative and find different ways on how we get time alone, or quiet time, or things like that. And not just the adults, but the kids too, because the kids, they can get overstimulated, and you don't want that. It is also tough sometimes having a infant and a 2-year-old and trying to figure out how you're going to do school around that. It's hard sometimes when you have a child who's having behaviors that day, maybe isn't the 2-year-old or the infant, and how you get around that day, and what that looks like, and how much leeway you give. And so those things can be challenging when you're doing homeschooling. Also, sometimes I feel like the kids aren't getting enough school, and those days I sit down and I stop and I think, okay, what are they doing, and why am I feeling this way? And so then there are times where, like right now, we have it set up to where 4 of the kids sit at a table, and they all are checking one another. Like, oh gosh, I can't remember the term for it. But so you have somebody sitting there helping make sure you're on task. And so we have that. And then some of the other kids sit inside with me, and I'm either teaching them or I'm making sure they're on task. And so trying to balance all of those things, and all the different grades, and all of, the different levels that the kids are at, and so that stuff is challenging, but we make it work. And there are some days where I get extremely frustrated, and by the end of the 2 hours, I'm pulling my hair out, and I'm like, why do I homeschool? And and then I remember why, because we really enjoy doing that, and we really think the kids are benefiting more from homeschooling than they would being in a regular classroom. And there are times we've talked about putting the kids back in public school, because there are just some times where it just feels like it would be easier. And we are not opposed to public school at all, but I do feel like right now the kids are getting more of what they need by being homeschooled. So I would be curious, what are some of your favorite topics that you have either taught your kids or your kids have chosen on their own? I found it very interesting to hear what the kids' favorite things were, because some of them I had forgotten we had learned. So it was neat to hear what the kids had to say. But I would love to hear what your guys' favorite topics are that your kids have learned. But we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.